guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to make this beautiful bralette. It has a lace design at the bottom and the basic bra cups, but the bra cups this time are going to be made using a single crochet stitch just to make them a bit more compact and less see-through. And then we're also going to learn how to make very sturdy straps, as you can see on the screen. And then yeah, this top is supposed to match a lacy skirt that we shall learn how to make in our next video, so stay tuned for that and let's get started. So the materials that you will need for this project are a measuring tape, a pair of scissors, a darning needle, a 4mm crochet hook, and the yarn that I'm using is Robin, which is 100% acrylic. I'll be doubling my strand in order to get a thicker strand because Robin yarn is a fingering weight yarn, so it's really thin, so I'll be doubling my strand. But if you have any DK weight yarn, one strand should be enough for you. So let's get started. So you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to start off with a slip knot. We're going to first make the bra cups, and then later on I'll teach you how to make the bottom band of the bralette and then put everything together. So you're going to start off with a slip knot, and then you're going to make a chain of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. For the different sizes, I'll be demonstrating from size extra small to size XL. So I'll be putting all the details on the screen. So for the different sizes, just follow what's on the screen. So I have my 16 chains here, and you're going to go into the second chain from the hook, which is this one, and you're going to place your single crochet. So a single crochet in the US terms is insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all. So that's a single crochet. You're going to single crochet all the way down your chain, placing one single crochet into each and every chain until you come to the end of the chain. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the chain and I have only one chain left. And in that very last chain, you're going to place 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. At this point, you can get a stitch marker and mark the middle chain of the 3 single crochets. So I'm going to mark the second last stitch here. That's supposed to be the exact middle stitch of our bra cup. So we're going to turn our work and we're going to work this side of the chain as well while weaving in this tail. So go into each and every chain with 1 single crochet as you weave in this tail as you work. So just hold it along that line and single crochet into each and every chain. Alright, so make sure you go into the very last chain with 1 single crochet, and this is what you should have for your row 1. Let's go on to row 2. Row 2, you're going to make a chain of 1, which doesn't count as a stitch. Turn your work, go into the very first stitch with 1 single crochet, and then continue to single crochet once in each and every stitch until you reach the stitch right before the stitch marker. Alright, so I'm placing one single crochet into the stitch before the one with the stitch marker, and into the one with the stitch marker you're going to remove that stitch marker and you're going to place 3 single crochets, 1, 2 and 3, all in the same stitch, and then you're going to place your stitch marker back into the middle stitch of the 3 stitches, just like that. And then you're going to continue to place 1 single crochet in each and every stitch all the way down. So the place where we are placing the stitch marker, the stitch where we are placing the stitch marker is the very top of the bra cup, as we shall see later on. And another thing that you should notice is that we are not building onto the base of the bra cup. We are moving like this and like this in a U shape. So we're going to continue to repeat row 2 until our bra cup builds up. And I'll be recommending the number of rows to make for the different sizes. So just keep repeating row 2 and I'll meet you back when I have my desired size. And I'll also mention how many rows to do for the different sizes. Alright, so after getting your desired size for your bra cup, I did a total of 16 rows for the bra cup. So once you get the size that you want without the edging, we are now going to start making the edging. So you're going to make a chain of 4, turn your work, and you're going to skip 1 stitch and double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet into the next, and you're going to repeat that all the way up until we get to the top corner of the bra cup. Alright, so we have only 1 stitch to the middle, so we're going to chain 1, skip that stitch, and then go into the middle stitch of the 3 single crochets and you're going to place 1 double crochet, chain 2, and 1 more double crochet into the same exact stitch, just like that. So we've created the top corner of the bra cup. After this, you're going to make a chain of 1, skip the next stitch, and 1 double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next, and repeat that all the way down. So as you go along, just make sure you always place a double crochet into the very last stitch. As you can see, I have only 1 stitch left, but I'll chain 1 and go into the very last stitch, just like that. And now we've created that mesh pattern on the sides of the bra cup, as you can see here. Now we're going to start creating the spikes or the picot stitch around the mesh pattern. So you're going to chain 1, turn your work into the very first space. You're going to place 1 single crochet, chain 4, and slip stitch into the 2 loops of the single crochet that are facing you. There are those 2 loops at the front. Just go into them and slip stitch, and then single crochet into the same exact space. So that has created a little spike. So we're going to continue this. 1 single crochet into the next space, chain 4, slip stitch into the 2 loops of the single crochet that are facing you, and then 1 single crochet into the same space. So repeat that all the way up to the top corner of the bra cup, and I'll show you what to do next. Alright, so when you get to the very top V at the top of the bra cup, you're going to place 2 single crochets into that chain 2 space. And now we're going to start creating the strap. And for this design, this is the right side of our work. The opposite side of the very last row of the spikes is the right side of our work. So when you're working like this is the wrong side, and where the picot stitch pops is the right side of the work. As you can see here, this side is more prominent. So after this, you're going to, after your 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space, you're going to make a chain of 3 and then go into the chain 2 space with 1 double crochet. Now we've started creating the strap. So chain 3, go into the space between the 2 stitches, and you're going to place 1 double crochet. and repeat that all the way up until you have a total of 35 segments, or however long you want your strap to be. So I'm done with my 35 segments, and this is how long my strap is. And now we're going to go back on the strap, still making it a little bit thicker so that we can get back to the body of the bra cup, so that we can work the opposite edge. As you can see, this side is finished and this side is not yet finished. So we're going to make a chain of 3, single crochet into the very first segment, or the space of the first segment, just like that. Then chain 3, single crochet into the next space. So we are going into the loops of the segments, those ones. So chain 3 and then go into the next space, and repeat that all the way back to the body of the bra cup. All right, so we're almost coming to the body of the cup. So you're going to chain 3 and go into the very first loop, or the very first segment of the strap. Then chain 3 and single crochet into that chain 2 space where the strap is coming out of. And this is what our strap looks like. So from here, you're going to continue to create spikes on this other side of the bra cup. All right, so we're going to go into the next space, single crochet, chain 4, and slip stitch into the 2 loops of the single crochet that are facing you, then single crochet again into the same space. So exactly what we did on this side is what we're going to do on this side. So just continue until the end of the mesh pattern. Placing our very last picot stitch in the last space. So after your single crochet, chain 4, slip stitch, and then 1 more single crochet into the same space. So after this, remember this is the wrong side of the bra cup. Now you're going to turn it around and see the right side of the bra cup, and this is exactly what you will have. This is how to make a bra cup with a mesh design with a picot stitch on the edge. So after this, you're going to chain 1 and cut your yarn. Then from here, you're going to repeat the same exact process for your second bra cup. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back when I have 2 of them. So for the bottom band, you're going to grab your yarn and make a slip knot, and you're going to make a chain that's a multiple of 8 plus 9 chains. So for me, I'm going to do a total of 96 chains, which is the multiple of of 8 plus 9 chains, which is 105. So when you have your desired number of chains, for me I have a total of 105, you're going to count 5 chains down. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and then into the 6th here you're going to place 2 double crochets, chain 2 and 2 more double crochets into the same exact chain. So that will count as a shell. A shell is 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Then from here you're going to prepare for a double crochet, and you're going to skip over 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the 4th you're going to place 1 double crochet there. Then you're going to make a chain of 3, skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the next chain you're going to place 1 single crochet, chain 3, skip 3 chains, and 1 double crochet into the next chain, just like this. And then you're going to skip over 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the next you're going to place a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, just like this. So we're going to repeat this all the way across. So I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. You're going to prepare for a double crochet, skip over 3 chains, and into the 4th place a double crochet. After your double crochet, you're going to chain 3, skip over 3 chains, and into the 4th you're going to place a single crochet, chain 3, skip 3 chains, and into the 4th place a double crochet there. And then you're going to prepare for a shell, skip over 3 chains, and into the 4th you're going to place 1 shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So you can see what we have here is exactly what we have at this point. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. So when you're coming towards the end, you are going to skip over. You can see we have a shell here, and we still have some chains, but we are coming towards the end of the chain. So you're going to skip over your 3 chains, double crochet into the next, chain 3, skip 3 chains, into the 4th, place a single crochet, chain 3, skip 3 chains, into the next, place a single crochet. All right, so after this double crochet, you're going to skip over 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and into the next, you're going to place a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets into the same chain. So you should be left with 3 chains at this point. You should be having 3 chains left. So you're going to just prepare for a double crochet, skip over 2 chains, and into the very last one, we're going to place a double crochet, which is the edge double crochet. So you should be having something that looks like this. Okay, so we're going on to row 2. And for row 2, you're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work. So just keep this in mind. You start with a double crochet and end with a double crochet. So the beginning chain 3 counts as a double crochet. After this, you're going to go into the very first shell, into the chain 2 space of the first shell, and you're going to place a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, just like this. Now from here, you're going to make a chain of 3, go into the chain 3 space, place a single crochet, chain 5, go into the next chain 3 space and place a single crochet, chain 3, and into the next shell you're going to place a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. So this is what your work should look like. We're going to repeat this all the way across. So after your shell, let me demonstrate this one more time. After your shell, chain 3, 1 single crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 5, 1 single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, and 1 shell into the next shell. And by now you know what a shell is. So this is what you're going to have. You're going to repeat this all the way across, and I'll meet you back towards the end of the row. So we're almost coming to the end of the row, and we just placed our second last shell of the row because this is the very last one. So chain 3, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 3, shell into the next shell, which should be the final shell of the row, And then from here you're going to go into the top of the chain after the shell, and you're going to place a double crochet into it. So just like I had said earlier on, you're going to have a double crochet at the edge of both the beginning and the end of the row, as you can see here. So we're going on to row 3, and for row 3 you're going to make a chain of 3, which counts as a double crochet. Turn your work, and you're going to go into the very first shell with a shell. After this shell, you're going to go into the chain 3 space, and you're going to place 1 double crochet there. And after this, you're going to make a chain of 3, 1 single crochet into the chain 5 space, and then make a chain of 3 and 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space, and then place a shell into the next shell. I'll demonstrate this one more time. So after your shell, you're going to go into the next chain 3 space with 1 double crochet, chain 3, 1 single crochet into the chain 5 space, chain 3, 1 double crochet into the next chain 3 space, and then 1 shell into the next shell. And you're going to repeat this all the way across until the end of the row. So we're coming to the end of the row, and I've just placed a double crochet in the chain 3 space. So I'll go into the shell with a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. After this, you're going to go on top of the chain 3 on the edge, and you're going to place a double crochet, and this marks the end of row 3. So row 4 is basically going to be the same as row 2, and row 5 will be the same as row 3. So you're going to keep alternating between rows 2 and 3, 2 and 3, until you get the band, the length of the band that you want for your bottom band of the bralette. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll meet you back to show you how many rows that I did for mine, and then we proceed to the next step. All right, so we did 11 rows for the band, and you should make sure you end on a row that is an odd row, the one that has double crochets here after the shells. So we're going to do our very final row, which is row 12. We're going to make a chain of 3, turn your work, and you're going to go into the very first shell with a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. After this, you're going to make a chain of 2, go into the chain 3 space and place a double crochet there, chain 2, go into the next chain 3 space, 1 double crochet into it, chain 2, and then go into the next shell with a shell, which is 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets, just like that. So what we are trying to eliminate are these protruding corners. So you can see here, it's almost invisible. It's making the work flat. So we're going to continue that all the way across. I'm going to demonstrate it one more time. After the shell, we make a chain of 2, 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space, chain 2, 1 double crochet into the next chain 3 space, chain 2, and then a shell into the shell. Okay, so repeat that all the way across until the end of the row. Alright, so after placing a shell into the very last shell here, you're going to prepare for a double crochet by yarning over, and then you go on top of the chain 3 on the edge of the previous row, and you're going to place a double crochet there. So this marks the end of the very first row, the very last row of the band, the bottom band of the top. Now from here, you're going to make a chain of 1, and then you're going to cut your yarn, pull through, and then we're going to turn our work onto this foundation chain where we started the bottom band from. And we're going to do something else. We're going to create an edging for the top where the bra cups are going to sit. So we're going to start with this space right before the shell. Here, into that space, you're going to attach your yarn. And then you're going to make a chain of 3 and place 2 more double crochets into the same space. So that's a total of 3 double crochets if we consider the chain 3 as one of the double crochets. And then into the next space, which is this one, you're going to place 4 double crochets. Alright, after this, you're going to go into the next space with 4 double crochets. All right, after this, into the next space, you're going to place 4 double crochets. So what we are trying to do here is to level up the base of our band so that when we introduce our bra cups, we know exactly where to attach them so that it's a flat edge on top of the bottom band. So you're going to repeat that all the way across. Into each chain space, you're going to place 4 double crochets all the way across until the very last space where you will place only 3 double crochets, because that's what we've done on this side. So we should do the same here. Alright, so we've come to the end and I have only 1 space left where we shall place a total of 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And after this, you're going to make a chain of 1 and cut your yarn at this point. And now we've created a flat base so that we create a platform for our bra cups to sit onto this base. So what you're going to do right now is get your darning needle, and then you're going to thread it. You should make sure that you have a long enough strand. So we are now going to attach our bra cups. So fold over your work like this so that you locate the exact middle of the band. For me, this is the exact middle of my bottom band, and that's where we're going to place this bra cup and the second bra cup that we did earlier on. So everything starts from here outwards. So what we are going to do is to attach our very first row of the single crochets or the picot stitch. So I'm going to attach twice, leaving a long tail behind, so that I use this tail that I've left behind on the second bra cup. So we're going to first join this part onto the bottom band, and then we shall come back and use this same exact tail to join the second bra cup towards the other side. So for now, we're starting with the first one. Then we are allocating 2 stitches of the band into the double crochet space of the double crochet row, the mesh row, and then into the next we are going to go into each row with 1 stitch of the band. So continue all the way across, joining the band onto the bra cup. So when we get to this point, you're going to still allocate 2 rows into the double crochet space or the mesh row, and then 1 stitch of the band into the single crochet row, which is the very last row on the edge of the bra cup. So this is what you'll have. From here, you're going to just remove your darning needle and then get rid of the loose ends. So I had another strand at this point. I'll just make a double knot and then cut my yarn. So you're going to get your second bra cup and just repeat the same exact process. We are done with the first one and we started from the middle outwards. So you're going to get this tail that you left behind on this side, thread your darning needle, and we are now going to join the second bra cup just like we did the first one. So we're done attaching our second bra cup, and this is exactly what we have. And now we're going to get rid of all the loose ends on our top. Just weave in and make sure you're weaving in your tails on the wrong side of your work. Alright, now after getting rid of all the loose ends, this is exactly what you'll have. Your work will look this neat. This is what your work should look like. We have the bra cups, and then we have the bottom band of the top. Now we are going to create the straps that are going to go to the back of the top. So these ones are going to be normal straps. They're not going to be as dramatic as the upper straps. So if you want those ones, you can go ahead and do the same approach. But for me, I'll be making a normal chain. So start with a slip knot and make a chain of 150 chains. Alright, so I ended up with 120 chains instead of 150, but you can go that long if you want your straps longer. So once you get this, you're going to turn your work to the side, and you're going to place 2 single crochets into each and every row along the side of the top. So 2 single crochets in each row. So after placing 2 single crochets into the topmost row, which is the double crochet row, this one, you're going to do the same exact number of chains on this side. So we have 120, so you should make the same number of chains on this side. So after making the same exact number of chains that you had for your first strap, we're just going to cut off the loose tails at the ends of the straps, just like this. And you're going to repeat the same exact process on this side, on the opposite side. So grab your yarn, make the same exact number of chains that you did on this side. So I'll do 120, attach here, make 2 single crochets in each and every row, and then make a chain of 120, and I'll meet you back after that. Alright guys, so we are done with both sides, and this is exactly what we have. Now the straps that we've created are supposed to tie at the back. So when you turn your work onto the back side like this, you're going to get these straps and tie them together when you're wearing this top, something like this. So this band is going to wrap around your torso like this, and then we shall have a beautiful bralette created. And then the 2 straps that we created at the top are the ones that are going to go around your neck, just like this, behind your neck. So this is what our bralette looks like, and at this point you're done, and just weave in all your tails if you have any. So this is what the final piece looks like. It's all done, and this is the matching skirt for the piece. And that marks the end of this tutorial. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did like it, and don't forget to check out the written pattern on all my online shops. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.